Well, hello there everyone. So it's that time again to open up another dollar bead box. Now this is for March. Let's just get right into it here. We can have a look what's going to be in this month's box and bag. Let's just get that bag one out first. So let's have a look in this. Usually always like what comes in these bags, because you kind of in a way know what you're getting, in the sense of you always get 4 3mm strands and 4 4mm strands, but then it's just kind of a mix of what you get color wise and finish wise, so in a way you know what you're getting, but you're still surprised as well. And also these kinds of beads are just really useful, I find, overall. So I'm always very curious about these. Now it's looking quite interesting so far. And I'm definitely getting some spring, summery vibes off some of these colours here. But let's just quickly go through them. So we'll start with the 3mm strands. First we have Gold Sage Luster. So I'm guessing that must be this one with the sage. So kind of a base green colour. And then that gold tone to it. Definitely very sparkly. Then we have Olive Green Half Luster. So it's this one. So nice and delicate, and this is definitely giving me those kind of summery vibes, spring vibes a bit, because it's quite a delicate green. It's not a very bright or dark one. And especially combined with some of those other ones. Then we have Dark Raspberry Copper. It's got to be this one here. That raspberry colour is really lovely. Again, very spring and summery. Lovely effect and sparkly as well. Then Matte Light Purple Luster. AB as well. Ooh, got some lovely AB tones coming off here and there. And this is a matte one, said there as well. But even so, even though the other two, say these two here, aren't mattes, I still think these three go really well together and could easily be used in something together. Even though 2 of them are not matte, but 1 is, I don't think that matters. If anything, that could make a piece more interesting, I think. But those are the 3mm ones. Then we have the 4mm strands. We have Gold Wash with Rose Luster. So could that be this one here? A kind of rose tint feel to it. Very delicate. It's a very slight hint of a colour almost. And then we also have a bit of metallic sparkle in there. Then next we have Olive Green Half Copper. So Olive Green Half Copper. Now I'm thinking it's this one, I think. If we're looking at that. So like a olive green base colour. And then it's partly coated with copper here and there. It really gives you an extra flash. And obviously that metallic feel as well. And then we have Matte Olive Maria. Now, Matte Olive Maria. So matte, it's got to be this one. That's quite interesting. So the base colour is that olive. And then I'm assuming it's that Maria. It's got to be something to do with the coating. There's kind of different colours, but only partly here and there. And then also overall the whole strand is matte. Again, quite an interesting mix of finishes. And then Gold Sage Luster. And then there's this one left. Again, kind of almost just a hint of a green colour. Very slight compared to say a really bright or really opaque one. But very spring and summery like. Now, just looking at these, I am thinking, I wasn't sure in the first place anyway, but I'm thinking the 3mm strands of the kind of green ones, that I kind of got them mixed up a little bit, because this one is more like that gold sage luster that we just looked at, and that was the first one. I think I said it was this one, but I think I just mixed them up a little bit, but you get the gist. So these are all the strands. I'm just going to pack them away again so I can keep it all organized. Right, and then let's get back to the box and see what's in here. So I'm just going to have the note here, the content list, nice and handy. Get the tissue out. We can have a nice little look. Scoop it all out, and again, like I always like to do, I'm just going to separate the additional items in the bags here from the strands. This is looking quite interesting. This is actually looking very colourful, like a mix of quite a few different colours. Right, okay, so let's start out with having a look at the strands. Already quite intrigued. So I have them handy. I'm going to get the paper back. There we go, and let's just zoom in a little bit. So, starting from the top, we have first of all 3x5mm, so rondelles, Czech glass gem cut rondelles, and the colour is opaque turquoise. And you get 25, so it's got to be these ones here. I definitely noticed these at first, probably partly because of the colour, because it's definitely a colour that you notice normally this. Quite nice then. Lovely colour, and this colour I do think will go with a lot of things, and they actually have quite a lot of flashiness to them, sparkle, so they're interesting. Then we have, by the looks of it, quite a few really small beads. That is interesting as well. So in several different colours. We have 2mm Czech glass pearls in white first of all, so that's this one. So pretty small little strands, but they're only tiny little beads, so you can never really go wrong with colour like this, because this will literally go with anything. Next we have again 2mm Czech glass pearls, and this is purple velvet rainbow iris. So that's this one. I did just notice the purple colour as I was taking them out, and I'll be honest, I am really liking the look of this. So the base is purple velvet, and then it's got an rainbow iris coating, which gives it a really interesting look. So it's not just that purple colour you get, it's just got some really an interesting touch to it. It's almost a bit like it has some kind of inner glow. Obviously it doesn't, but it's almost the effect that the coating gives. So just holding on to them, because I'm pretty sure the next one is 3mm Czech glass pearls in the same colour. So that's this one. And you can probably see the coating a little bit more clearly on them, just because they're that little tiny bit bigger. But otherwise they're exactly the same. So I do really like that. It's a lovely purple colour in the first place, but that coating really does something quite special to them. So I'm liking them. And of course, the white will go nicely with them. Like I said, you can't go wrong with that really. I'm really liking them. And also you get those two different sizes, but that are so close to each other, so you could easily combine them in a piece. Now next we have again 2mm Czech glass pearls, navy blue. I actually thought when I just looked at these that these were black, but I can see the blue now, but it's just in certain light, so if you just glance at them they look really dark and almost black. And again, I don't see why they wouldn't go with the purple. Obviously the blue and the white as well. It's almost quite sailor-like, navy-like. Anyway, next we have, now we're going up in size a bit here, we have 8mm ones, Czech glass melon, raspberry copper, so there's got to be these ones. So basically the melon is that, the kind of shape of the bead. It's a bit 3D. You can see that. It's not just a basic round bead. I think I'm of a pumpkin as well when I see this kind of shape. And it's, what did it say? Raspberry copper, yeah, definitely. It's got definitely a purple more purple tone to it, the raspberry colour there, but you also get that, it's not a full-on then copper coating, it's kind of more of a hint of it, more subtle, which is quite nice. And they also got a lot of clarity to them, instead of being very opaque. Now the last strand is, it definitely caught my eye, and we've had something similar to this in a previous box, but they were a different size. So 6mm, which is a lovely size bead, round mixed gemstones, and this looks like a very long strand. So basically there's different gemstones here, you can see all the different colors as well, and all just mixed together on one long strand. So you could either go through and pick out individual ones that you want to use in a piece, or literally just use them as they are, because they do all go together, I think. I don't really think there's anything wrong with using kind of just randomly as they are on the strand, using them in a piece like this, but obviously you could also pick them out yourself. So like I said, I'm pretty sure we previously had a strand like this, but it was more like a 4mm or something like that a while ago. But this is always nice. I love working with gemstones, and 6mm is a lovely size. So those are all the strands here on the list. Next, let's have a look at the additional items, because I did get a little bit of an interesting glance at some of them. Right, so again, let's just start from the top here, identify them one by one. First we have 10 by 12mm Czech glass puffed pillows, burgundy with crystal. So I'm guessing the puffed pillows referring to the shape. I think it's got to be these ones here, so we get 3 as well. So they are Czech glass beads. Let's just get 1 or 2 out. So I think we can also see here the puff pillow part, because if we're just looking at them from that angle, definitely kind of looks like a bit of a pillow shape, but they're then puffed, and they're also kind of, they've got a slight twist to them. Instead of just being flat, they have, it's a little bit hard to tell I think, but almost as if opposite corners were grabbed and then slightly twisted. So they've definitely got an interesting shape to them. And you don't just have that burgundy colour, it's kind of got clarity to it as well. So burgundy and crystal mixed together. And you got the hole coming through there. Seems like an okay size hole. And then we have 12mm pewter diamond Indian floral design, 2 pieces. So diamond shaped, I'm guessing. It's got to be these ones, and also that Indian floral design. I see that as well. And there's 2 pieces, so that fits. So I'm curious to see where a hole might be in these. Yeah, I kind of thought that might be the case, that it would be from corner to corner, which it is. They actually feel quite nice. Got a lovely design, I think. Could go with many different styles, not just the kind of Indian floral. They're very kind of general in a way still at the same time. They're not like you have to use them with a certain style, I think. So 8mm pewter flower button. So it looks like we're getting a button. Well, actually 2 pieces, so I wonder if it's these. Pewter, so it must be because they're metal. And there's flowers here, so that's a little bit different, this. So it's little flowers, which is kind of the decorative part. And then on the back is where we have, it's basically kind of like a shank button. So the part in the back that's got the hole, so you can use them as buttons, but they're still pretty cute. So buttons, I personally find that are great for, I use them for clasps really, for some macrame bracelets or wrap bracelets with leather or something like that. Those ones are maybe a little bit small, but obviously they could also just be used for decorations. Now next we have, where are we, 16 by 22mm oval connector, brushed brass, 2 pieces. Oval connectors, it's got to be these ones. Brushed brass. That's kind of brush brass. That's a little bit hard to say. Had to think about that whenever I was brushed brass. So they actually got a little bit of a matte feel to them, which is probably the brushed pat. And they got a little bit of a shape to them as well. They're not like completely flat. They've got kind of a little bit of a dome to them. So obviously there's loads of ways to use these. Could use them something like this. So some simple earrings, for example. So you use those little holes. The bottom one you could dangle something below it. The top one you can obviously attach to earring findings. And you could also then attach something to dangle in the middle of it. So some nice little metal pieces. And they were gold. Then we have 12 by 15mm Czech glass butterfly. Butterflies. I like my butterflies. Teal opal. Butterflies. It's got to be these ones. That's the only butterflies I see. Definitely butterfly shape. It's not quite as clear. I think we had previously some butterfly beads in a previous box, but they had a base colour on the bead, but then they had like a metallic wash over them, which emphasized the design, so the carvings and the shape. This doesn't. This is just the base colour, teal opal, but they're still really cute. Do like my butterflies. Quite a different colour, I think. And it has different tones within it. Almost looks a bit stripy. And I'm guessing the hole goes basically from the head to the bottom. Almost looked like there it had a little face on it. It probably doesn't, but pretty cute. Then get back in there. We have 8mm Czech glass acid etched druck Chakra Colours, 8 pieces. So Chakra Colours usually means multiple colours, almost like the rainbow, but not quite. So it's got to be these ones here, yeah, and yeah, 8 as well. So I do know a little bit of the whole chakra thing, but not in great detail. I just kind of know of it. They kind of have a bit of an unusual feel to them. They're not like really smooth, round beads. That's probably where that description actually comes in, thinking about it. Acid etched. I'm thinking that's it then. Because they feel quite, not rough or anything, but they just feel natural in a way. Like they haven't been smoothed and polished and that. But then obviously you can see all the different colours, and you can obviously use them easily if you want to make a piece with those chakra colours. Just kind of use all the beads together. A nice size as well. Get them all in there. Right. Next we have 14 by 15mm Czech glass head. Chakra Colours with gold wash. Heads, okay. Bit different. So, it's got to be these. I don't see any of the heads. So this is kind of what I was talking about with the butterflies. That there's a base colour and then it has like a metallic wash to really show the pattern on the beads. So these are definitely different. They are Czech glass. They feel like stones, both the feel of like the weight, but also how they feel on the surface. They feel like stones. It's interesting. And as I thought, looks like the hole is coming from the very top of the head to the bottom of the throat, neck, whatever you want to call it. Same with that one. So yeah, that's different. And also that chakra color, where was it? Yeah, Chakra Colours with gold wash. So obviously that's just one of the colours I'm guessing then. That matches that. If we just get the other one back. The blue one. blue, purpley, purple blue thing, I would probably say. Colour. Definitely matches that one. So they could be used together in a piece, I'm guessing. But they're definitely interesting, something unusual. Right, then we have, got any more body parts or anything? Maybe not. 7 by 10 millimeter Czech glass twisted oval, sapphire opal and crystal. 8 pieces. Sapphire opal, so I'm guessing it's these. Let's have a little look. So I'm guessing it's a blue sapphire, the colour. Yeah, it must be these. So the colour is that blue and crystal. So it's kind of like the burgundy and crystal at the top, where it's not like just a pure opaque colour. It's a colour mixed in with the kind of original bead and like swirled together in a way. So it's an oval shape originally, kind of, that's then been twisted a bit, which matches pretty well. And then the hole goes from one end to the other, through like that. And what was it? 7 by 10 millimeters, so a nice size. 8 of them. Get them back in there. Then we're getting towards the bottom here. We have, where are we? 18 millimeters, so that's large. Czech Glassamionites, turquoise with gold. So that's got to be these ones here. 2 of them. Again, seen something similar to this previously in previous boxes, and I think it was probably a different color or something. So it's basically emulating the ammonite, the natural one, with that shape, kind of swirl going around and around. And then we have a little hole there. That looks actually quite small, so you can only really get so much through there, but it does have a hole. So they definitely create a lot of impact, I would say. And then we have 9mm Czech glass flower, tanzanite. 8 pieces, so it's got to be these ones. Little flowers. Let's have a look. So it's a lovely, definitely lovely tanzanite colour. That kind of quite delicate blue with a slight kind of purple hue to it. And they look like that. So it's 6 petals. And yeah, I did think so. The hole is actually, they're flat, but they're double-sided, so they look the same on both sides. And the hole is basically the middle of the flower, as opposed to saying going from one side to the other. It's in the very middle center of the flower. So they're quite cute. It's a lovely colour, actually. I do like a tanzanite colour. And the very last thing we have, looks like it's actually something a little bit different. Looks like we have a chain, so a beaded chain. So it's this one here. And again, sapphire opal, so it's actually like, which ones were they? The Czech glass twisted ovals that we got before. Actually seems like some of those have been used here. It's not all of the different beads on here, but for instance this one looks like it actually is one of them. So obviously this chain goes with those beads, no doubt. So you could either just continue the chain a bit or just combine them in a piece. But for the chain itself, you can see it's that blue and different tones and hues, but there's actually different beads within it, different shapes and sizes. And then thinking about this is basically 7 inches, so probably just a nice length if you then add a clasp and possibly extend a chain to get a bracelet, if you just kind of want to use it as it is. And obviously you can also use it as a base and then add things to it. So that's a bit different than anything I've seen in previous boxes. We'll get an actual already pre-made beaded chain. So this is everything that was in the box and the bag as well. Now I'm definitely sensing some different themes in here. So obviously these blue colours over here, I kind of kept them together a little bit. There's a bit of that kind of oceany but summer oceany theme, I think, with the colours there. Then there's kind of a natural theme. We have those ammonites, butterflies, flowers. So that's a bit of a separate theme. Then there's also those chakra pieces, the beads there. That's obviously a bit of a theme. And then I think from the bag there's a bit of that kind of spring summer theme in some of the colours. So it's definitely quite interesting. Now I am definitely a little bit curious regarding those chakra beads. Like I said, I do know of them, I just don't know loads of detail about it. So maybe worth kind of looking into a little bit more to actually see properly what it's about. I do like those blue tones as well, and probably the standouts for me, I really like those purple tiny beads there, the 3 and the 2 mil. First of all, the purple colour is lovely, but that coding just really adds something nice to them. I would love to see if I can maybe try and use them, whether it's mixing with the white or the blue or something. Or to be honest, even where they're laying there, I think they go well with that kind of turquoisey rondelle strand as well. They would work together, so who knows. But I do really like them. And then, of course, also the gemstone strand. They would always be a standout to me. And I love the fact that it's a 6 mil. So yeah, I think it's time for me to go away, have a little more of a closer look at these, and then see if I can come up with anything. So now let's have a little look at the jewellery that I ended up making. Now I ended up basically focusing on the chakra beads because I kind of thought I had them available, so why not take the chance and learn a little bit more about it maybe. So first of all, I used the rounds, the 8mm rounds they were, and I first of all took out the beads and I kind of had them in front of me and I thought, what do I want to do with them? And then eventually I came up with, obviously wanting to use all the beads in the same piece, and I made this necklace here. So this is basically a necklace version of a previous design that I've done. So my candy stripes, and I just added the beads in, because my understanding as well from reading about it is that they kind of got to sit in a certain order. Now I'm not 100% sure about the colours of these beads here, because from what I could understand from looking into it is that there's 7 main colours of the chakra. So I'm not sure about the black one, whether that's just an extra kind of filler colour of bead, but it seems to be these other 7 colours that are the actual chakra colours. And also normally in most pieces of jewellery it's related to gemstones and their colours, but obviously these are glass beads, but it's just kind of the colours here that represent the different chakras. So from what I've understood is that the colours basically represent the 7 chakras in the body, so that are connected to different parts and organs in your body. And the colours will then help, if you wear jewellery with the colours or the gemstones, will help keep everything in balance. So help you feel more at ease and calm and balanced overall. So that is kind of my impression of how it's supposed to be. And then this is how I ended up adding the colours in my piece that I thought seemed to fit best with the information that I could find. So going from the pink, blue, green, it's almost a bit rainbowy, but not 100%, but because obviously they're not completely rainbow colours, but it's very close. Obviously mine is the black one, which I'm not sure about, like I said, regarding the chakra either. I have, because when I looked at other jewellery with chakra colours, some did have black in them as well, but some didn't. And when I look at just the chakra information about the chakras and the colours that represent them, black doesn't seem to be part of it. So I'm not entirely sure where that fits in. But regardless, this is the piece that I ended up with, and I did learn a bit more about it than I already knew, so that's kind of always a nice thing. And I really like how this turned out. So normally I would have probably just chosen the same beads for the whole thing, so the same color beads, but I actually really like how this is going. You could easily say do it in rainbow, but I actually really like how it's got different colors all the way along instead of just using the same color in the beads. But it's ended up then looking like this, the first necklace that I made. So using those chakra beads in all those colors. So I'm pretty happy with that one. Next, I then used those glass heads that are also chakra beads according to the information. Now, I will be honest, I'm not entirely sure what makes these beads chakra, whether it's maybe the blue color, maybe different boxes, the heads are different colours, I'm not sure. But obviously here it's just 2 blue beads in the shape of heads. So what I ended up doing was, I kind of thought they were too perfect not to use as a pair of earrings. So I ended up just kind of wanting to, obviously they're the main feature, but just add a little bit of something to them. So I basically made my own head pins, and I just made little flower ones. And then I did also add little beads there to the very center of the flowers. You can see there, just from one of the strands from the bag, to kind of the color that matches best with the head, I thought. So the bead, I think, is still the main focus, but I just kind of made my own head pins a little bit to add a little bit of extra interest. And again, I'm not entirely sure what makes these chakra, whether it's just the color or what, because I wasn't really able to find a whole lot of information about that. But nonetheless, I used them, a cute pair of earrings, and I have thought myself about, for a while, wanting to kind of do some head pins designs, maybe try and do some different ones, come up with some, and then maybe do some tutorials for that. But regardless, I just made these flower ones for these here. So those are just the earrings. So in total, I ended up doing the necklace, so that chakra necklace, and then of course those little heads with the flowers. So these are the pieces that I ended up making. So I just focused on these chakra beads this time around. And like I said, it was kind of nice learning a little bit more about it, because like I said, I do know of chakra and the colours and that, but not in great detail. So I have definitely learned a little bit more, so that was nice. But thank you so much for watching this video here. I really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you to Dollar Bead Box for sending it to me as well. I really appreciate it, and I always enjoy going through these and seeing the materials inside. But thank you so much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.